Okay, Joel, here, listen, you're coming into this conversation where we're obviously talking about PK Subban. We touched a bit about, or a
He
lot
tried to
about
stay away, but then David brought him back.
David
So
brought it back, and
Unfair person,
and
what
I'm
can I say?
and I'm so happy he did. Joe, I mentioned that I think PK when he came into the league up into like in his prime, I think he was a bit of ahead of his time in terms of a hockey player using social media to brand himself. You know, especially guys, if you remember, like his logo was the celly that he did with the number 76 behind. And Joe, what I'm saying is that I think the NHL really needs to let these players go down that path as well for marketing purposes. And I'm mentioning leagues like the NBA, the NFL, probably where they do allow their players to do that, and maybe that's why they have such a big budget amongst the North American sports, or maybe that's the reason why the NHL is the lowest amongst the four North American sports. Did I think PK was ahead of his time, and I truly believe the. Listen, I will say this: he was lucky. Not that he was lucky, but it was meant to be for him to play for the mecca of hockey, the Montreal Canadiens. He didn't need to market himself in order to draw fans to him or to draw fans to that team because his performance was it explained it all. Everything he brought onto the ice was enough to be like to draw fans to the arena. But do you guys get what I'm saying though?
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. No. I mean, like, you know what? Yes, there are endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are contracts that they can sign to be part of the game, but still represent themselves
Yeah.
and their own brand.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I think probably why the NHL is a bit weary is because they don't want to get themselves in the hot water.
Okay.
You know, that's like, I mean, they don't want to like overstep or say something they're not supposed to, get affiliated with what they're not supposed to, like represent a different company or a different brand. But I don't know the reasons behind. I'm also not in marketing. Uh, my wife is not in marketing. Like, you know, I don't know marketing. So
Yeah. Okay, Anthony, I want to go back to you about the suits.
yeah.
When
So at the
players
beginning of this season, Joey, I don't know if you remember, Dave, if you remember, there was a whole debate on the NHL changing their attire before the game. So right now, all the players have to wear suits pre-game when they're on the bus to go. But NFL players and NBA players, all these guys, they can wear whatever they want. They can brand themselves. So, there's a lot of sponsorship with Adidas and Nike and all this because they come out to their dressing room dressed the way they want to dress, branding themselves. The NHL is the only league right now, I believe. I don't know if there's any other leagues, but NHL, I even believe soccer too. No, Joey, you're a big soccer fan, but they have to wear
oh my
suits
god, the
pre-game,
soccer is huge in
right?
terms of branding the players.
No, they do more branding on their own. I don't think there's any rule in soccer. I don't think they have to specifically wear a suit, but they might if they're sponsored by them. I mean,
Yeah.
the team I follow and teams I watch in soccer, like
Once they all suck,
Rome,
yeah.
Rome is sponsored by, I think it's Armani. No, sorry, Fendi. So they have to wear Fendi. They have to wear Fendi branding. That's the reason. But hockey doesn't have that sort of sponsorship, so I don't think they need to follow it. So same with what you're saying, Sam, with Subban. You're right. He is. I wanted to touch that. He is ahead of his. He was ahead of his time. Like his play attracted enough attention for himself that he didn't need to do this extra.
Mm-hmm.
But he did it regardless because that's who he is, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think he was right. And I think players can have any way that that's obviously not controversial. Find ways to express themselves in their own way. And you know what? A lot of times when people do that, it creates this brand and marketing, and just so many fans enjoy it. Same with hockey players. I think they should be able to do it unless
Mhm.
there's some sort of rule or law that restricts them to do it, which I don't know of any. They should be able to do as they please, barring that it's not over the top, that people don't get into trouble.
That's well said.
Well, you've
But
had issues in the NFL, right? Some players came out with controversial stuff, and then it led to crazy things on social media, especially today's generation. Excuse the sensitive people, but we're in a sensitive generation right now. So people do have to be careful. One wrong sweater of that makes someone dislike it. There's lawsuits, there's people boycotting the league, or a lot of bad publicity can come from it. Maybe that's why the NHL is staying away from it, because they want to keep that class,
The clean
Well,
image.
Yeah.
the
Well,
clean image. Yeah,
well, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm all for the players showing up in suits. I think it's class. I think there's a sense of discipline there too. The reason why I say that is because I used to play double letter hockey, and when I did, we had to show up to games in suits, like we did. It was a rule, and I remember the first time that happened, I was all like, "Oh, I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to wear a tie." And like my parents are like, "Listen, these are the rules, and you're gonna fucking wear them, and it's gonna teach you. This could teach you how to be disciplined, how to like, you know, how can I say not fall, but like just you stay in line.
you're right.
You show class and respect, and I'm all for that. I really, really am. I'm all for that. And you see players. You saw PKs so many times. He came in with like what was that big purple like fur coat. He looked like that character on Sesame Street a bit. No, but like he looked great. Like sometimes they add their own touch, their own style. Like David Pasternak does that sometimes. Austin Matthews does it. You know what I mean? But like, say what you whatever, fucking Toronto. But like at the same time too, it's cool. Like I'm all for that. I hope they don't take that away. It's tradition.
Yeah.
And there are some traditions I am for keeping, and the suit is definitely one of them.
I think Sam, before maybe getting to clothing, maybe something they can open up in all leagues. Just allow anybody to do any celebration they want. Just allow them. I was gonna mention the triple 5.
We
like
definitely
that.
we definitely talked about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys did, but NFL does it. Can we just allow players to express themselves if they score?
Dude, what are you talking about? The Carolina Hurricanes are expressing themselves as a team after every win.
Every win.
That's true.
I don't think it's that's not an NHL problem. That was
maybe it was just a Terrian problem.
I think it's a
just
team.
a Terrian problem.
I think it's a team thing. Like we were saying it before, I think Montreal, and I think that's why I'll say this. And I think David, you were about to say something, so I'll just finish this point. I think the Montreal Canadiens just have a lot of respect for their logo. There's history to it, a lot of history on that jersey. So I think a main reason why, not to get into it, but why Subban left the team was because he was too out there, and it was something that the organization did not like. Well, that type of player was good other teams, but for that logo, for the organization, for the history of the team, they did not want to pull the plug of the class and the respect of that history of the Montreal Canadiens.
Sam, I think Anthony said it right. I think it's more of a team thing. I think teams talk about like what they can do. Carolina probably just says do whatever you want, but I think other teams
for sure. But
have more.
This was a Terrien decision or Bergevin or both of them or
right.
But they never actually Terrien or Julien. I'm not sure. Like
one of
back and forth the whole way.
I remember
one of the recycled coaches. But if you see Carolina's Twitter, have you ever seen Carolina's official Twitter? The Hurricanes
troll.
They're a bunch of jerks.
They just troll.
Yeah, they troll.
That's all they do. So they can do everything, but other teams aren't like that.
No, exactly.
No, because they have to there's a lot of them that are kept on the proverbial leash. I mean that they have to tone down what they're doing. They don't want to get in trouble, or that they're not as liberal as an open to be doing all these things. They have to keep with their thing. You're talking about the history and the class and of the organization of the Habs, for sure. But I know also that there are a lot of times that sometimes NHL teams do like to have fun. When it comes time to the Winter Classic at Fenway the other day when the fans came out all in Red Sox uniforms of the olden days.
Yeah.
Or during Christmas times when they had Kaprizov and Reeves come out as a Santa and Elf.
Yeah.
They like to have fun and they like to be a little bit loose. But sometimes, you can't go over the top. And you can't do it all the time. Because then you will be noticed, but maybe not in a positive way, or you might not be idolized to your fan base. So it's a delicate situation, I find.
Yeah,
I think David said it right. I think they're trying to find maybe that fine balance between having fun and expressing yourself, but not doing too much. And that's what's the common thing that each team tries to do because they want to please the fans, but they don't want to overdo it.
Joe, did you feel any closure after they walked away? They walked off the ice, PK and Carey.
Oh, definitely, and it was a big, like you mentioned on Twitter, it was a big fu to Terrier for me. That was the.
I didn't say that on Twitter. I did not.
I felt it in your tweet.
No. The Curfew Boys did not listen. I know I take care of the Curfew Boys. I did not say that. No, I said screw it. We're crying, because I was. I'm sure Auntie was. I know I could have spoken for everybody.
David was crying. I was crying in the car. David was crying at the Bell Center. I was crying in the car with snow coming down.
So listen, and literally that tweet like took off. Like even somebody from the La Presse retweeted it. Somebody
TSN.
from TSN retweeted it. Yeah, no, listen, it's
even non-Montreal fans. It was kind of like I don't know if iconic's the right word, but it was kind of like wow, like they did it without a coach looking at them, giving him like the evil eye.
But look, I'm not gonna say it's rightfully so, but Terrien, oh my god, took a lot of fucking heat yesterday. It's all over Twitter, and it's like, Habs fans have a hard time letting go of certain past.
I wonder how long it's gonna take for Terrien to come out and speak about it.
Well, maybe on TVA Sport, but not many people watch TVA Sport, so maybe. But look, I want to, before jumping into the next topic, look, I thought the ceremony was perfect. I thought the game was excellent. Like, thank God the boys followed up on his speech, and they really did, and made Marty happy. Marty loved it too. It's I think it's the perfect way to close that chapter, the end of that era, and we're looking forward to the future.